Welcome, beloved Sangha, to our Jewel Ornament of Liberation series with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin in the Yellow Garchen Buddhist Institute Prayer Book, page 4 and 5, with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Dangke tu je je re zan ro yin je ma da de je bon je ba zi je lon ba ta wa je ba ge je be ja ge jan za dor jin jan je de lo na ro da ma ba ma la je gam bo ba ba mo je ba ja wan ro gong ba ka je la ma nam je da jo je na nan de na zera dam je da la ma la ba la ye je so la so yo ne jam zo nga la wa Dendru dongjin zhe bege le zor, da ge lo chu zon zhe war sin je lab de zor, chu lam de zhe war sin je lab de lam zhe wa ze war sin je lab de zor, zhe wa yi shi sin je war sin je lab de zor, kan ge den jen zhe war jo nga wa me ba je ba me ba ta me ba Wa me ba zho me ba ta de du me dun je me, zhe ba nye je je den ba, zo ba san je ma nan je Tamba de la Zanzar do Renje Zawa Lama Jija Guzon Doja Zilan Doda Dage Julan Bud Dage Demba Dan Zinji Jadon Labo Jendra Presinja Labdo Zo Good morning, dear Dharma brothers and sisters. Today we are going to teach. I'm going to teach and you are going to listen. Chapter 7, which is loving kindness and compassion. The prayer of excellent conduct says, whatever the furthest end of space may be, that is the limit of sentient beings' existence. So we all are ready to become Buddha because we have Buddha nature, and then we have a precious human life, and then we have spiritual master, and then we have the spiritual master's path instructions, and then enlightenment is very possible. So enlightenment or fruition, our practice as a result. So if we are a milk, and then if we shake someone shakes this milk, then butter comes from this milk. Similarly, if we will practice well, we will become Buddha, because we have Buddha nature. My aspiration is not to call on Bodhisattva to come here to help us, help you, because they voluntarily help us since they became bodhisattvas. My aspiration is to make you into bodhisattvas who can go out to help others. This is why I teach the Dharma. How to help them is to help how to help them is we are going to cultivate bodhicitta in our mind, and we are going to purify our negative cause and effect, cause and its effect, and then we share to our brothers and sisters its benefit. And also we share the methods that how we will purify over their cause, negative karma cause and its effect. That is effect. Then also we have to practice 6 panja parimitas. So first is practice generosity. So practicing generosity means we give the material things like clothes, shoes, socks, and hats, and so forth. And then, of course, drinking water and so forth, food and so forth. And then we give. We should give. What is it called? Like medicines and Dharma books or other wonderful and beneficial books and so forth. This is how we can help mother sentient beings through our outer material things. Then through speech, there are many ways to help others. For instance, someone is very new in in a new place, and if they ask you uh, their what is it called, destinations. If they ask you their destination, for example, they don't know. For example, some have to come to GBI from Chino Valley. If they don't know how to go here, if they ask you, and then you help. So this is very simple way to help others, but it has a great benefit. Uh, and then we recite mantras when we see the cows and other animals. We will help them uh, recite some mantras through their ears, and then then through speech, the best generosity or best way to help others is give, teach, and teach means to give teachings, which means like we share about karma, cause and effect, and how to cultivate loving kindness and compassion, and and then we also give path instructions about the realizations, path instructions of Mahamudra and Dzogpa or Madhyamaka and so forth. And then through the mind, how to help is we help others through our compassion and loving kindness. So then through the discipline, ourselves try to remain on the law of karma. I mean, we try to obey or respect law of karma, and we try to cultivate 10 virtues and try to avoid 10 non-virtues. If we cannot avoid all of these 10 non-virtues, there are 4 non-virtues of speech, 3 non-virtues of body, and 3 non-virtues of mind. We try to avoid one of them, or 2 of them, or more than. So after we do that, and then we try to help others through this way. Actually, we practice 10 virtues, then it's always a benefit to others because we are not harming to other beings. Mm. uh, and then patience. Patience. There are many ways of patience. We try to practice patience when people use harsh words, or they do some bad things to you. So at that time, tries to be patient. That's everybody knows. But there are special patience, which is uh, when we practice Dharma. Uh, as I mentioned, we have Buddha nature, we have precious human life, we have spiritual master, we have path instructions, and we have fruition of Dharmakaya. I already mentioned to you, and you suddenly very excited to achieve these things. So for few days or few months, you make efforts, and then, but you cannot experience them immediately, suddenly, or in short time, and then it's possible you will upside, or you are doubt about these things. You maybe you think that they are not true, they are not exist, and so forth, and then you don't like to what to say, you don't like to make effort to practice dharma. So can so great patience means we, or great patience, or undertaking hardship, which means when you are practice dharma, there many obstacles occur. The reason why they occurs for you is to you is when you start to practice dharma, then these negative karma start to melt. Negative karma start to melt. When negative karma start to melt, then you have feel that feeling, you have that sign. So feelings uncomfortable, or lots of some uncomfortable situations occur for you. So the reality, these are a good sign, which means these negative karma start to melt through the sunlight of your practice. Yeah. So you should be patient. Sometimes you see it's possible you appears some strange things, you hear strange things, and then the worst thing is laziness. So that many laziness occurs and so forth. So that's where you have to apply antidotes of laziness. Um, and generally, and then uh, sometimes we uh, mm, are very exciting to realize higher realizations. but we don't care about the simple way of practices, like a simple practices. For example, circumambulation, and of course, like uh, uh, daily practices and the daily meditation, and this part one thinks not so great practice, but only one aspects higher fruition. So then this is a little misunderstand. One aspect higher fruition, but one does not cultivate the cause of high realization. So what is the cause of high realization? For instance, Naropa, he went undertaking hardship, 12 undertaking hardship, 12 great undertaking hardship, and 12 small undertaking hardship. So then Malarepa, he also built many house and non layers of the tower. So these things now what we see, all these things are not important, but Malarepa gained Mahamudra realization through this way. So, and then also many practitioners thought, okay, listening the Dharma, reflecting Dharma, and meditating on Dharmas are not important. Or maybe one think these are only part of learning or something. Yes, these are for learning, but it's not only for learning. At the same time, you cultivate great merit. So, however, all of these activities are cause of realization of Mahamudra. That's why Malarepa said, undertaking hardship for Dharma practice has inconceivable merit. So, for practicing Dharma, especially we are practice on the compassion and the loving kindness. These are actually not easy to generate because we have the self-grasping, very strong self-grasping, so which does not allow to generate compassion and loving kindness. So first we listen how to generate compassion and loving kindness, and then we reflect on it, and then meditate on it, and then we real act as these path instructions. Then it greatly benefits. So then I will read page number 92. The beginningless time Sutara says, where one person to set down a litter, Joju be kennel for every piece of earth, stone, plant, or forest that there is in the world, and a second person to count them. Eventually, a time would come when the count would be complete. Yet, were we to try to count the number of times that one being has been our mother, it would be impossible. The letter to our friend says, which Nagarjuna composed, if you reduce the earth to little balls the size of jujube canals, their number would be less than that of the number of times any one being has been your mother. Recalling the kindness shown by her in the ways described above, every time she was your mother in the past, and contemplating it all, you will recognize that her kindness has been absolutely immeasurable. Bearing this carefully in mind, cultivate as sincerely and as frequently as possible a loving, positive mind, uh, longing for her happiness. Furthermore, every sentient being has been your mother, and they have all shown you the same kindness. In um, enumerated above, just how many sentient beings are there? Sentient beings are as vast as space itself. Yeah, the King of Aspiration says, whatever the farthest end of space may be, that is the limit of sentient beings' existence. Therefore, a sincere mind that longs to benefit and bring happiness to all beings throughout space is to be cultivated as much as possible. When that has arisen, it is true loving kindness. The omniscient of Mahayana Sutara says, a bodhisattva acts towards sentient beings as though they were in a lone child, with a love so great coming from the very marrow of the bones, and thereby wishes to benefit them continuously. So actually, here say we are going to generate loving kindness towards our mothers, but actually this the main reason uh, we are very easy to generate loving kindness and compassion uh, towards our mother. That's where it started from, or started to bring mother here. Because when we hear the name of mother, we have feeling, yeah, that it's a warm, how to say this, loving kindness arise from our mind easily. But mm, uh, some of you quite difficult to generate bodhicitta and compassion towards mother. I mean, when you start to generate them, then you focus towards your pets, like a dog or cats or other animals, birds and so forth, or your father or brothers or sisters, whoever your favorite, you focus. So this then it easily you can very easy to generate loving kindness and bodhicitta in your mind. That's for example, you call to your brother or sister, and you say how or friends, yeah. You say how are you, and they say I'm fine. I I am fine. These words makes you happy. You say, oh, that's so great. Yeah, that means you are happy. Mm. So this the feeling arises towards your friends or siblings or parents. But you should feel like that to all mother sentient beings. Mm. Uh, Great loving kindness is benevolence so strong that it brings tears to your eyes and makes the hairs of your body stand on end. Limitless loving kindness occurs when you no longer discriminate between beings. So always we say that nah, what is that? Uh, we practice equanimity. So practicing equanimity is very important because the first we start to arise loving kindness or compassion, then we can focus in particular beings like friends or so forth. But then uh, but this is not great bodhisattva, bodhicitta, and this is not great compassion because you are uh, because you discriminate between other beings and your friends. So when you discriminate between others and your friends, uh, then you have attachment and aversion in your mind. So when you have attachment and aversion in your mind, Mahamudra realization is zero in your mind. So Mahamudra realization of Mahamudra is zero in your mind. Then enlightenment or Buddhahood is daydream. So that's why first we are going to in every morning in the open prayer book we say the part of this prayer, it has four immeasurable prayers inside has that. So we have to generate compassion, bodhicitta for all mother sentient beings. And when we generate compassion and bodhicitta towards all mother sentient beings, and then in your mind, what happened is your mind become like an empty space. So your mind is become empty space. In the temporary, you have no in temporary you the obstacles cannot destroy to your mind. For instance, in this empty space, there are fire, wind, and storms and so forth. But it cannot destroy empty space. Similarly, the obstacles cannot destroy to you. But what is it? Yeah, these obstacles cannot destroy to you in the temporary way. In the ultimate level, you become Buddha, which means you will become Buddha. Means your mind becomes boundless space. like a boundless space, and then your mind becomes like like the sunlight, which is your paramodure wisdom arise from your mind, and then bliss. Right now we are strongly attached the temporary happiness. It's not so bad, but now we are talking about this fruition of our practice. So that's where the temporary happiness are temporary, very, very, very temporary. So what is wrong with the temporary happiness is we experience this temporary happiness. After then we are suffer because of this temporary happiness. So that's why we need genuine happiness, like a permanent happiness. So we call it bliss. So to achieve them, this clarity and boundless space or nature state of mind, and to experience great bliss, then we have to cultivate more, uh, cultivate more bodhicitta and compassion through the law of karma. Yeah. So sometimes mention about bring some path instructions. It seems it criticize to us, but which means it is not real criticism, but it helps us because the at that time we are more make sense. Uh, so uh, loving kindness when but when we generate loving kindness towards our friends and siblings or parents, at that time we have less suffering. We have less suffering. So that is quality of bodhicitta. Because when we generate loving kindness or bodhicitta towards our friends, then at that time what happens? We forget self or I at that moment. So if we forget the I or self, then we have less suffering because self-grasping collects all the problems and hold. Yeah. The fifth point is the measure or what to say, gauge, gauge of accomplishment. Loving kindness has been achieved when your soul wish is for others' happiness and your mind no longer yearns for personal happiness alone. Sixth, the qualities or benefits of cultivating loving kindness are immeasurable. The Chinda Prabha Sutara says, the merit of limitless offerings made to the Supreme Being, even if they fill 100 cordelion Buddha fields, does not equal the benefit derived from a benevolent mind. Wow. So we said that lots of other practices have lots of benefit, yeah, I said, but then you cultivate loving kindness, uh, has kind of this benefit or merit. The good results generated by even in instant practice of loving kindness are countless. The precious garland says the merit of offering 3 times a day, every day, 300 pots of food cannot even begin to compare with that created by one training instant of loving kindness. Uh, yeah. Until Buddhahood is attained, you will be benefited in 8 ways by this practice. These are described in the Precious Garland. Even before you achieve liberation, you will derive these 8 benefits from loving kindness. You will be loved by gods and humans. And they will also protect you. This is third, yeah. We say 8. So benefits from loving kindness. One, you will loved by gods and humans too. So if you need loves from God and humans, you should practice bodhicitta. Yeah. When we pack, for example, right now we love Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri, Vajrapani. We loved them. We loved all Yadams. They did not ask, please love me. They did not ask to us, but we love them, which means they have the power of bodhicitta. That's why we love them. We love and we have big hope that they will help us. They will help us. They are helping us. They helped us. They had helped us to us, but now we utilize our precious human life, and we should become bodhisattva. Oh, we will become bodhisattva tomorrow if we practice bodhicitta. So to become bodhisattva is not difficult. Difficult or difficulty? Difficulty. To become Buddha is little difficult because we are going to purify all the obscurations. Then we call it Buddha. Yeah? We developed all this our paramount wisdom. We call it Buddha. But to become Bodhisattva means we generate loving kindness and compassion, and we act this through loving kindness and compassion. So that's why it's not so difficult. But if we become Bodhisattva for only one day, it has a great benefit. So the benefit we are I'm talking on the benefit right now, yeah? So you will love by gods and humans. God's love for you, what happened? Gods means, in this case, gods means like, it's probably not gods of the, in this, among the 6 realms, we have a god's realm, demigod's realm. If it is, it's okay, but the main thing is mountain gods, fire gods, and wind gods, earth gods, water gods. if they love to you, then you have no problem by water, by fire, by earth, and so forth. And then humans. If you love humans, humans love you, then you have more great benefit, yeah. If your children loves you, how much benefit to you? If your siblings, friends, husband and wife loves you, how much benefit to you? Yeah. So I think no need to talk more about that. You experience. So that's where you love all of these beings. That's where they love you. Yeah. So this is very true. And then they will also protect you. Yeah. Not just they only love you to you from their feeling, but they protect you. They protect you. For example, they help your English. Yeah, now I have this problem, so they help me in the English. And when I am thirsty, I have water, something like that. So they help protect any times. If you are, yeah, there are many examples. And then it says this is third, fourth. Your mind will be happy. Wow. When you generate bodhicitta unhappily, I don't think no one has this experience. I am not great Buddhist, I'm not Bodhisattva and I'm not special. I'm very, very ordinary. But generate bodhicitta at that moment, at least in that moment, I can say I can experience happiness. However, I'm not unhappy. But sometimes it's above this instruction says when we generate bodhicitta, the tears brings tears to your eyes and something like that. These tears are nectars. Sometimes we have it does not mean we are sad and something like that. Tears rolling down from our eyes has two kinds. One is very ordinary water mixed with the sufferings of muds or say dirt. One is nectar. These tales benefit to you and these tales benefit others. Yeah. So, and full of joy. Yeah, this happy and full of joy has different layers. Full of joy. Full of joy. Full of joy means it's full of your mind. The joy is fills your mind. Joy is full your mind. If your mind is full by joys, then you have no suffering. Our human being, including me, okay, honestly, including me, our human being is, how to say, it's a little funny because bodhicitta makes happy, bodhicitta makes, how to say, feels joys in our mind. In the path instructions, it says this, and these masters, those masters experienced, but still we don't try to do it. We search happiness in another way. So that's where sometimes it's funny to myself and our human being is sometimes funny. If it's some animals like dogs, some dogs are clever, but there are many animals they don't know because they have very, very heavy ignorance. So right now we have precious human life means our paramodule wisdom almost make holes of our obscurations. That means it is start to how to say lining or start to appear in our mind. So that's where. Then fifth is full of joy. Yeah, you will not be harmed by either poison or weapons. We should reflect on it. So if you have bodhicitta, I think this is you should create bodhicitta. Almost you have to experience that taking and giving part, giving your benefit to others, taking others' problems, and then you dissolve them into your bodhicitta or emptiness. So then these all things cannot effect. So this is, for example, if there is one form, I thought this form is real, then in the night, if I see this form, probably I'm scared, I'm afraid, that form. So if I thought these are illusion or illusory things, then I'm not afraid. That's where they cannot harm to me. Yeah. Same like the poisonous. In the reality, poisonous are not truly exist. So if we recognize like that, then it's also they cannot harm to us, and same like weapons and so forth. And another way is poisonous or weapons cannot harm you is harm or just harms or not harms. These are, we should think like that. It's quite important. For example, I took poison. It says poison. Poison. And if someone gave me it, and I took it, I know who gave me that, and then I took. But I voluntarily to take it. For example, it's example, okay? Otherwise, nobody gave me poison. So I voluntarily gave. That means I don't care myself or grasping. I thought this is my karma. I will accomplish that person's wish. I try to make that person, so I will take. If we take this poison, it's possible damage. It damages our body. It's possible to kill us, but our mind is joy. In our mind has no problem. So that means no harm in another way of understanding. Then the same like weapons, yeah? Maybe it is my karma, we thought. Oh, maybe this is my karma. As Milarepa said, to purify negative karma and cultivate good karma. At that time, we have many like sickness or obstacles. Then he said, okay, sick or these obstacles occur in this life during the practice. He said, happy. They are like brooms to, how to say, sweeping the dirt in the house. So then seventh is your aims will be effortlessly accomplished. Aims, we all have aims, but we all make efforts to achieve these aims. If we don't make effort, then we cannot accomplish our aims, because efforts is means in the Dharma, okay? efforts means we cultivate merit. But effortlessly accomplished means those practitioners, bodhisattvas, they purify almost all of their obscurations. And they have cultivated great merit. So then it's effortless. But sometimes effortless means not so much effort. Yeah, easily, quickly accomplish. Actually, without effort, then it's quite difficult to accomplish the overfruitions. For example, if you are going to learn something, you have to spend time and have to write, read, and so forth, listen, and so forth. And same like these other things, you have to do something physically or mentally or so forth. Even if you are a practitioner of Mahamudra, for example, Milarepa said, when I directly watch, then I saw watch where when I directly watch my natural state of mind, I saw or see. I see it, its essence. I see its essence. Its essence is like an empty space. So we can say that is effortlessly he watches or make effort. But this effort is not very strong efforts, not grossly efforts. But there is little effort otherwise. That is his final, that could be his final realization. I mean, highest realization, but that wasn't the highest realization. And then he said, what to say? Then he said that after that, still there are some kind of very thin obscurations. So then these thin obscurations occurs, he just relax. Don't apply some antidote and so forth. He just relax there. And then he gained another realization. But still, this is not engage grossly efforts, but still it is engage very tiny or small efforts. And then last is that rest it is, then recognize the natural state of mind. Recognize the natural state of mind. So that is effortless. So that is the final his realization. So we suddenly jumped there, then we cannot achieve this. We have to gradually practitioner. So we recently I said gradually liberator. So my teacher told me we are not gradually liberator, we are gradually realizers. So I'm so sorry that. So we are gradually realizers. But then when I say that, some maybe thought gradually realizers means it take long time, like many eons and so forth. I don't mean like that. Gradually realizers, we are gradually realizers. I think 95% we are gradually realizers, but we realize like through the I mean we were realized step by step our realizations. But it's take long time, many years or few weeks. It depends our obscurations. Then our obscurations are depends our afflictive emotions. Yeah. So some may no need take for long, some may no need need to take more long. And then number 8, you will take rebirth in the Brahma realms. So that means actually God's realm. So some who cannot directly achieve Buddhahood, and still it's no one can rebirth in Brahma realms, which means according to the lower realms, Brahma realm is more joyful, joyful realm. Yeah. Okay, so these mentioned some part of Bodhicitta, but this I mean loving kindness, and then the still the okay, no, that's all. Next, the training in compassion. The synopsis for this sub chapter is limitless compassion is well summarized by 6 topics. Its categories, its categories, its object of reference, the form it takes, the means of cultivating it, its measure, and its qualities. Yeah. First, there are 3 categories: compassion focused on sentient beings. Second, compassion focused on the nature of beings. 3. Compassion with no particular focus. The first kind is compassion that arises through understanding the sufferings of beings in the lower states of existence. Yeah. So we always say, oh, there are 6 realms, and the hell realm has lots of suffering, and the hunger gods have lots of suffering. Animal realms have realm has lots of suffering. We are not scared, but number 1, if we talk about the situation of hell realm, then we don't like to go there. If I say directly, we don't like to go there. Yeah. This is number 1. Number 2, we generate compassion because these beings are 24/7 suffering. So we generate we heard about the situation of hell realm, we can generate compassion greatly. For example, right now I'm teaching here, you are listening there. In this moment, how many people are in the hospital? They are not in the hell realm. So when we hear people are in the hospital, we can generate compassion towards them. Yeah. We can generate loving kindness towards them. We generate compassion and loving kindness. That's where then we start to pray like a Manjushri mantra, the Medicine Buddha's mantra, and longevity mantras and Taras mantras. This action comes from this compassion, and these come from compassion and loving kindness. Yeah. So in the same way, when we heard about the situation of lower realms, then we can generate compassion, loving kindness. So that's where here says the first kind of compassion is this compassion arises because we understand the lower realms suffering and so forth. Right now, there are many compassionate ones or compassionate beings in this world. Actually, many because that's where they help each others, and he helped to many people and many beings and so forth. Yeah, and there are many compassionate beings in this world, but it's related in the fortunate eon. And then we have less compassionate beings nowadays. So if there are less compassionate beings, there are more suffering, more problems. Because the number of people not increase or decrease, something like sometimes increase, sometimes decrease. But if there are many compassionate beings, then this world become peaceful world. What is peaceful world? Then communities are become very how to say peaceful community, and then it seems like a family and so forth. Then second occurs when there is familiarity with the meaning of the four truths of the noble ones, and hence understanding of both cause and consciousness, thereby counteracting belief in permanent, concrete realities. Compassion arises through realizing how much other beings are unaware of a karmic cause and effect, and how they perceive things as concrete and lasting. Yeah. So the second kind of this compassion arises the reason. We need reason. Yeah. So we need reason. So we have reason. Some they don't know about the karma cause and effect of samsara, and the karma cause and effect of nirvana. So that's where we mention a lot, we emphasize, teach a lot. So someone don't know about these then they don't think these are important to understand. Karma cause, to understand the karma cause and the effect of samsara, how many times we emphasize, how many times we say that one cannot think this is important. That means one don't know about these things. And then how many times we mentioned about the karma cause effect of nirvana, and then some they don't think these are important, which means they don't know well about these things. So they don't know, okay, they don't know, it doesn't, we blame them, or they don't know anything. Not like that. If, for example, I think, oh, you don't know karma cause and the effect of samsara and karma cause and the effect of nirvana, I just stop there, only I say that, and that's all. If my motivation is like that, I'm wrong. So first I should understand you don't know about that, because you don't think these are important. Yeah. And then what is my responsibility? I start to arise compassion towards you. When I arise compassion towards you, then I will start to help you to understand the karma cause and effect. So these samsara karma cause and effect, and nirvana, samsara's karma cause and effect, and nirvana's karma cause and effect are in your mind. So then here explain and say something, and this message comes to you through your ears and goes in your mind, and then you wake up. You will wake up. So we have no different. Only I was grow in this Dharma culture, so I little bit studied on there, little early, just early. So if you focus on the Dharma, you start learning Dharma, easily you will understand. Quickly you will understand. If you don't learn, I cannot say you will understand. Because in Satya Pindrata said that, uh, said that, Malapala kunchimi. Without learning, there is no omniscient. Drona jumre kalante. If you, without learning, still you say you understand everything, then where is the karma cause and effect? Satya Pindrata said that. But the one thing, they are like a holy gurus. They also learned, but they'll not learned in this life. But they not learned means suddenly wake up, not like that. As I mentioned, that this Malarepa said, first how to gaze to the Buddha nature or nature state of mind. They receive these path instructions from their root gurus. And after how to relax on these path instructions they receive, and then they act. So through this way they gained. So they are instantaneously realizers. So that's where they just few of these. So anyhow, we have to learn. This is very important. Sometimes I also said, and you often heard that this learning part is not important. At that time, we don't misunderstand. Okay, so don't misunderstand means in the path instructions it said learning are not important. At that time, for me, what I understand is only learning. Don't put into the action. This is a mistake. Number one. Number two, learning, we should understand the benefit of learning. So when we learn the Dharma, we cultivate a great merit. So now we have Dharma discussion, and those things are our merit of our learning. Yeah. So actually everybody learning, so no need focus about the emphasize more about that. But I mean, what I try to say here is we have to understand karma cause and the effect of samsara and nirvana. So if we understand, then we should practice. If we don't understand, we have to learn. Do you agree or disagree? So if you karma cause and effect is, what are the karma cause and effect? The samsara's karma cause. The cause of samsara is afflictive emotions and these actions. And then samsara means ocean of suffering, the often suffering. But someone thought, no, samsara has happiness. No, we are in the samsara, but we are sometimes happy. But that happiness is not result of samsaric karma. This happiness is a result of nirvana, good karma, nirvana's cause. We cultivate it, or we have been cultivating some virtue. That's where we have these virtues. Yeah. Then nirvana's karma cause effect is actually with the truth of cessation and truth of path. Truth of cessation is fruit realization. To realize that, we are going to come to the truth of path. Truth of path. Come to truth of path means we start to listen, reflecting, and meditating, and then experience them. Mm. So then in the listening and reflecting, all your good actions, including there. As Milarepa built this tall tower, so that is included in listening and reflecting, because he listened. Marpa said you should build this building, and then he reflected how to build this. So maybe sometimes his reflecting is wrong because he have to make something, and Marpa disagreed that, oh, this is wrong, and then he rebuilt, So that's why. Actually, there's nine layers of tower in the one story is mentioned on that, but more than that, in different directions, he built many house. Yeah. So we have to learn from ourselves, and then our friends and some they don't know about this. We have to help them kindly, honestly. So kindly and honestly, if we are going to help them, we have to generate compassion. Yeah. So that's why the second is that, and then the third kind of compassion occurs when meditative penetration has brought realization of the emptiness of all phenomena. Uh, Extraordinary compassion then arises towards thinking beings who believe in realized existence. As it says, when through meditative equipoise a bodhisattva becomes perfected through practice, compassion arises in particular toward those gripped by the demon of believing in reality. Okay. So then this compassion. So the compassion has different layers. This is related to our practitioners. Sometimes then we focus that there are many beings, and they are my parents since beginningless time, or they are my friends since beginningless time, or they are my relatives and so forth. In the in this yeah, and then in the Dharma, the Vajrayana way, they are Vajra brothers and sisters, but they don't recognize emptiness. They don't know emptiness. So I understand emptiness. They don't know emptiness, so they are not important. I am important. Not like that. This is not action of compassionate ones. So compassionate one's action is that those loved one, whether they are parents or friends or relatives or enemies, so forth, they don't know emptiness. So they have a fixation, they have a self-grasping, they have ignorance. So I kind of spontaneously feel compassion towards beings. So this is the third. So how generate practice, generate compassion is like that. So this we call lamrim. Lamrim path instruction means those masters like a Gampopa. He composed this book. He practiced, and these teachings are related to Buddha's Sutara, Buddha's Vajrayana teachings, Sutara and Vajrayana teachings. And then Gampopa himself experience all bring together here and then make like this. That's where Lamrim means path. How to say Lamrim? What is called in English Lamrim? Lam means path, yeah. Rem means gradual path. Yeah, my teacher agreed. Okay, so sometimes I make new words or new what's say sentence. Mm. So then, if you promote your compassion through this way, uh, you will become mm, compassionate one instantaneously. Instantaneously has means still. I mean, it comes step by step, gradually, but it's quickly. Like one is a car, one is airplane. Airplane goes fast. Airplane goes fast, but it have to cross the mountains and rivers. But cars also go through mountains, rivers. It take time, something like that. So first you generate compassion. The reason is, oh yeah, they have lots of suffering. So then you think, you watch news, or you read newspaper, or you listen to your friends' informations, and there are many kind of problems you hear, and sometimes read books in the lower realms, hell realms. It's not always like hell realms and some lower realms. In our human brothers and sisters, or these transgenders, all these you focus, they have lots of sufferings. That's where you generate compassion, like a morning. One day you make 3 sessions, yeah, and then afternoon, then you focus into the uh, uh, the human beings. For example, they don't know the karma, samsara's karma cause and effect, and they don't know nirvana's cause and effect. For that reason, you generate compassion and so forth. And then in evening, then you focus the mother beings, and or they don't know emptiness. They don't recognize emptiness. Mm. They came in this world with the Buddha Shakyamuni, but Shakyamuni Buddha already realized. And they came again with Malarepa, but Malarepa realized emptiness already, but they don't know yet. So that's where you generate more compassion. And so one day you make 3 sections and generate compassion, and you come, then your compassion developed quickly. Uh, of these three, only the development of first will be discussed here. Second, this first step of compassion has every sentient being as its focus. Third, the form it takes is that of a mind longing for each sentient being to become free from suffering. Okay, then the fourth, the method, how to do this, how to practice compassion. Fourth, the way to cultivate compassion is through reflections based on the mother. You imagine her right here, her right here in front of you, being cut up by some people and being beaten, boiled, or burned by others, or perhaps her body is completely frozen with cold to a point where is it covered with cold sores, blistered, and cracked open. If these were really the case, would you not experience compassion for this? Yeah, you ask this question to yourself and do this. So here is I say that you cannot imagine your mother, or then you can imagine your friends or pets or It doesn't matter. Since it is difficult, it is a definite fact that those beings suffering in hell have also been our mothers, and that they are currently enduring such sufferings. How can compassion not arise toward them too? So you ask by yourself. Even you record that in your mobile phone, and then you listen again. So that is how you can utilize your mobile phone for attaining Buddhahood. In Lord Jigten Sunggu's Buddha's single intention, it says, all phenomena are activities of Buddhas. So that means if we can use them for activities of Buddha, then these are very, very beneficial. These days, if we use in the right way this mobile phone, laptop, computer, those things, it's really helpful. Yeah, it's really helpful. So we have to, when we use mobile phone and laptop, this is my suggestion, but it's your choice. Choose or choice. I think when we use these mobile phones, we use them through the six paranjana, six perfections. Yeah. So if we do it, I think it's really do. So it's benefit to ourselves. Otherwise, yeah, then other part so I don't. Cultivate actual compassion by contemplating in this way and by wishing those beings to be free from suffering and its cause. May all beings liberate from suffering. One person said that, and the other person said, may all mother sentient beings, to be free from suffering and its cause. For me, I thought the second person's wisdom is higher. Actually, we don't want to judge it, but this part we have to know ourselves. So, may you liberate from your suffering. This is compassion. But already this give different layers of compassion. Yeah, so that's where the cause of suffering. This is extremely important. Cause of suffering. So if they liberate from cause of suffering, then they will not experience suffering again. Yeah. Two, equally, were your own mother to be right in front of you, tormented by hunger and thirst, afflicted by disease and pain, full of fear, utterly terrified, and completely disheartened, would you not experience profound compassion for it? So it mentioned mother. So yeah, again, this yeah, that's clear. Yeah, it is certain. I think it's certain. It is certain that those hungry spirits who suffer torments like these have all been your own mothers. How can you not feel compassion? Contemplate these and wish them to be free from their sufferings. Equally, were your own mother to be right in front of you, old and withered by age, and yet other people nevertheless made her labor as a defenseless slave, beat beat her heart, killed or chopped her up alive, would you not experience great compassion? It is certain that those beings born as animals are subject to the suffering, and that they were formerly your very own mothers. How can you not feel compassion? Contemplate these and wish them to be free from suffering. Equally, equally were your own mother to be right in front of you, blind and near the edge of a precipice, 1,000 miles deep, unaware of her danger, and without any who could lead her away or cry out, "Hey, be careful of the and abyss." And then she started wandering toward the edge. Would you not experience very great compassion? If I asked you, have you ever practiced through this way? You become Buddhist maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago. But have you ever practiced like this gradual path? So I don't start to criticize to you. If not, you try. I mean, you try at least one time. Come this way. I think that is very powerful. Than how many times I repeat something. You do one time. You record all of these things with correct pronunciation more than me, and then also when you read, it's very gently. Okay, my voice is not like gentle like this, so it's sometimes the vowels sound are big difference. They bring our feeling. Yeah, even you play kind of very smooth music near there, soft music. It's a really help. So you do one at least one time. If you already have great compassion, it's support more to you to develop your compassion. If you have not compassion, it helps you to arise compassion and so forth. If you already have a great compassion, it still helps you to you have ultimate compassion. You will it helps you. It will help you to arise ultimate compassion. Okay, it is certain that gods, demigods, and humans are all three standing at the edge of the abyss, that is, the lower states of suffering, unaware of cause and effect. They do not know that avoid falling or feeling, falling, falling, they must give up unwholesome action and practice virtue because they do not benefit from the support of Dharma teachers, support of a Dharma teacher. They fall into experience the three lower realms, as is then so hard to get out of those states. How can you not feel great compassion for them since they too were formerly your own methods? Contemplate compassion thus and with them all to be free of suffering. Mm. Sometimes I think we will do this practice together. Okay. Okay. Fifth, the measure of gauge of accomplishment is that compassion has been achieved when the shackles of cherishing oneself more than others have been cast off, and when there is a real, rather than merely verbal, desire that all beings may be liberated from suffering. Actually, here says wonderful things. And also, if I share my suggestion that when we generate compassion, I thought probably we feel that liberate all mother sentient beings. This is my responsibility. We voluntarily take that responsibility on our shoulder. Mhm. And also we have it's arise courage. I can liberate all beings. Why not? Why not? All of these path instructions are we understand, we can learn, we can reflect, and we can practice. Because these methods are in the human language. We have the subject, because all mother thinking beings are suffering. It's a object, yeah. We have subject that our compassion. So why we cannot do that? So we kind of keep courage and take responsibility. When we have like that, I think these are also sign of the great compassion which we have. 6, the qualities or benefits of this practice are immeasurable. The section discussing the realization of the Lord of the world in the perfectly gathering the qualities of Avalokiteshvara Sutara says, where one thing like all enlightened qualities in the palm of your hand, what would it be? Great compassion. The perfectly gathering the qualities of Avalokiteshvara Sutara says, O blessed one, it is like this wherever the precious will of the universal monarch goes. It is automatically accompanied by all his attendant hosts. O Buddha, wherever the great compassion of the Bodhisattva goes, or enlightened qualities accompany it. So, particularly dear Dharma brothers and sisters, we really we need to take responsibility that we cultivate compassion, and we try to make, I don't know, you make sense. Hopefully you understand what I try to say. We try to make many compassionate brothers and sisters. Even we have to teach compassion to the animals. Many of the brothers and sisters, they keep the cats and dogs or pets, the birds and so forth. I know you have a great compassion towards them, so you compassionately feed them and take care. That's really imaho. But we really try to teach them compassion and loving kindness, so forth, because they have a intelligence. So after they change their body, they will rebirth in human, for example. Then they become bodhisattvas and they greatly benefit to others. Or if they continuously remain there, so it will benefit to other animals. So being compassionate means we try to make compassionate means, of course, not harm to other beings. This is the first one, yeah. And then there are many ways. I thought there are many ways to help them. We have method. How to say? We can teach them about compassion and so forth. So, which means if they directly cannot stop harm, or they directly cannot benefit to other beings, for example, through their compassion or something. Why I say that is we make imprint in their mind. So we make imprint of compassion in their mind, and then they quickly can arise compassion and bodhicitta. The perfect gathering the qualities of Avalokiteshvara Sutara says, oh, this I read, yeah? Sorry. Also, it says in the Sutara of the Tathagata secrets, O master of the secret teaching, Vajrapani, the root of pristine awareness that knows everything lays in compassion. What is it? Oh, yeah. Yes, so this is the greatest quality of compassion. O master of the secret teaching Vajrapani, the root of pristine awareness that knows everything lays in compassion. So then if we expect to attain Buddhahood, but we don't cultivate compassion, then our hope and action become paradox. Like we are thirsty and we try to get water, but then we what is that? We eat more cause of thirsty, something like that. Yeah. As taught above, loving kindness is the wish for the happiness of all beings, and compassion is the wish for them all to be free from suffering. When these are present, a person can no longer find sensing contentment, is striving slowly for the happiness of personal peace, and is joyful at the prospect of attaining Buddhahood, so as to benefit all beings. Therefore, love and compassion constitute the remedy to clinging to the well-being of mere peace. Once loving kindness and compassion have arisen, others will be cherished more than oneself. It is said, those who have understood their own suffering and aspire to totally eradicate all the suffering in every being are most excellent individuals. Among those who have become such excellent individuals were the Brahma, Mahadatta, and so forth. This concludes the 7th chapter concerning love and compassion. From this ornament of a precious liberation, a wish-fulfilling gem of sublime dharma. Okay, so yeah. So now we have the generally there are many compassionate, as I mentioned earlier. So there are many compassionate beings, compassionate brothers and compassionate sisters. So as His Eminence Gachin Boje often said that male compassionate ones Avalokiteshvara and female compassionate ones Tara. So then these uh, uh, male compassionate one, Avalokiteshvara. So this is real. This is true. And the female compassionate one, Ayatara, this is real. That is true. Because to become Avalokiteshvara, to become Tara means they also cultivated compassion. For instance, Compassion Buddha, he had a great courage. Couragement or courage? Courage. And he commitment in front of Amitabha Buddha that he will liberate all mother sentient beings. Yeah, so that's where he has he had great courage. First he gained compassion, and then step by step he become great Bodhisattva, great Mahasattva. So we all generate compassion, we generate a great compassion for 1 hour. For 1 hour, we are great Bodhisattva. Or if we can generate compassion for 1 day, we are great compassionate, or the great compassionate one, or Avalokiteshvara. So the compassion has this power. What I try to say is, compassion has a great power, which makes you Avalokiteshvara. Right now you thought Avalokiteshvara is very, perhaps you thought that Avalokiteshvara is in the Tanka, and some thought Avalokiteshvara is somewhere, and we are somewhere, another places. But this, if we generate compassion, then we instantaneously become Avalokiteshvara. So compassion means we, how to say, benefit others through our body, speech, and mind. And when we gain the compassion, then we instantaneously become Ayatara. So, which means we benefit to others through Ayatara action. So we have these 7 verses of Tara. So it says, please protect mindfulness of Ayatara, protector of Ayatara. There are 7 kinds of these Taras. So if we protect others, we help to improve others' mindfulness and so forth. If we benefit others, these are Ayatara's activities and Avalokiteshvara's activities. So then when we act Avalokiteshvara and Ayataras, then they, how to say, they spontaneously come to us. Usually there are many prayers that prayers which says the invitation prayers. Yudams come through different light or come and something, and then we use more instrument and so forth. They are the conditions. But the best invitation letter is the compassion. If we generate compassion, Yadam deities come like the sun's band, or also sun's rays to us. The sun's rays come to the earth, seem like Yadam deities come to us. Voluntarily they come to us. And also compassion is a very great thing that we benefit, particularly liberate from suffering. then easiest practice. Actually, compassion is the easiest practice. Number one, you have seed of compassion. We all have a seed of compassion. This is actually the quality of Buddha nature, but right now we say Buddha nature, probably some are pretty new and it's quite difficult to understand. But you have compassion to your parents, your siblings, your wife or husband, your friends, your relatives. You improve that compassion. Right now you have a compassion towards a single friend, yeah, and then you give value this compassion. You should know that is fundamental of compassion, and then you progress towards the 10 people, 20 people, and then hundreds people, and then step by step, this human realm, and then hunger ghost realm, and then animal realms. For example, there are 6 Nirmanakaya Buddhas. Actually, there are one Buddha. It's Shakyamuni Buddha. His compassion arises towards the hell realm. He become Buddha of the hell realm. His compassion arises towards the animal realm. He becomes Buddha Nirmanakaya of animal realm. And then in the human realm. So one Buddha, his compassion arises in different ways. And then it's the form of this compassion arises in the Buddha, Nirmanakaya. It seems like there are 8 Guru Rinpoches. Everybody thought there are very different 8 Guru Rinpoches. Because we see there in the Tankas different kind of the ornaments or different way of holding different things and different clothes. That way we thought there are separately 8 Guru Rinpoches. No, they are one Guru Rinpoche. He went to 8 different great channel grounds. And then he benefit through, he went over Guru Rinpoche, Avalokiteshvara, Aryatara, each and every steps, each and every vocabularies, each and every motivations are benefit for others, benefit for us. That's where right now we heard their names. Even we heard the names, it's blessed to our mind, yeah? Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you understand a little bit, because sometimes maybe you have a difficult to understand by how to say my sentence or my pronunciations, and still you continuously listen. I deeply rejoice that your great patience, and then all of this, the merit of your listening the Dharma and reflecting on Dharma and meditating on Dharma. And particularly today we discussed loving kindness and compassion. All of this merit bring together, and then we dedicate to all Mother Sentient beings. When we dedicate to all Mother Sentient beings, this is a great offering to the Buddhas and Yidams and Bodhisattvas, because they are happy, enjoy. Yeah. So please generate compassion, and then we do dedication. Chancho sencho renpo che ma che ba nam ji jor che ba nyam ba me ba ya gong ne gong de be ba jo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. May you become compassionate one quickly. Quickly. Mm.